Fnatic's turn to ban. Newbee's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Fnatic's turn to pick.
Chen.
Newbee's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Welcome back to the Shanghai Major, and we are here for our last best of one, our last match to see hopes go to waste. We are going to go straight into the draft as well, as the game is already on its way. If you're wondering why we're in such a hurry, I can tell you, as you probably would have realized that yesterday we had to unfortunately have the audience leave the hall, and that's not the case today, and that's why we're making a bit of extra haste to please certain officials that we are putting some pressure behind it. And we already have the first two picks as well. We have Nature's Prophet, Vengeful Spirit for Team Newbee, who will be playing from the Dire side, with first pick Radiant for Fnatic, who picked up a Chen. Gentlemen, discuss.
It's interesting because Chen and Nature's Prophet are definitely Fnatic's two favorite picks at the moment, and I guess Newbee decided they'll just let both through and see which one they take and take the other. I'm not sure if Newbee would have actually taken the Chen, but I think Newbee are happy the way it turned out, getting the Nature's Prophet, and I actually think that it's interesting to me that Fnatic went for the Chen and not the Nature's Prophet, because I think the Nature's Prophet is better than the Chen. I mean, it's hard to say. DJ is a great Chen.
Really?
DJ is a great Chen, but Ohio is, like, for me, the second best Nature's Prophet in the world.
I was actually just gonna... I was literally planning out, I was like... It's really sad to me, in my head, like, it's just nostalgia-wise, it's sad. Because Ohio used to be such an amazing Nature's Prophet, and yet I feel like Ohio hasn't actually been like performing the way he used to, and it's actually DJ, because of some of the heroes like his Chen, that I think actually stands out all the more. And I think that Fnatic put their priority correctly. I feel like that Chen is more valuable to them just because DJ looks so comfortable on it.
I think that's fair. Ohio's actually, he shifted his Nature's Prophet playstyle quite a lot in this tournament. He used to play almost exactly how Bulldog did, and in those tournaments I actually noticed, because while I was starting I looked at his skill build a lot, and he's been maxing teleportation first almost always, with just like 2 points in summons. So trying to get involved all the time, which sets up a totally different kind of game, and a lot of those games they've ended up looking weak because then he's underfarmed because they're not even winning the fights that he keeps going to. But I just don't know if that's necessarily on Ohio. But anyway, Newbee end up getting the Nature's Prophet themselves, so that'll be the 2-layer off-lane Nature's Prophet, I'm pretty sure. Although I think that Hal has also played it.
I'm trying to think right now. I still like... I think Ohio's good too, but I was like thinking of offlaners. Because I think so Bulldog's number 1 in your head and then Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'd...
Whoa, for Furion, so...
I would put
Nature's Prophet.
I would put Bulldog, Ice, Universe,
For
Fred.
You know what my reason is?
Yeah.
Maybe
even
you
Forev.
put Moon up there?
Oh, Moon and Forev, yeah.
Moon
and Forev.
You know, my reason is, if you ask Ohio, the way Ohio learned to play Furion is he literally just watched Bulldog and copied exactly what he does, and I think that Bulldog is the best Furion, and Ohio... I guess this is where Cap's point comes in. He hasn't been doing the Bulldog Furion in this tournament, but before this tournament he replicated Bulldog very, very closely. It was like, not as good, but doing all the right things, and...
Okay, but there's no Ohio Nature's Prophet in this game.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the game at hand. Newbee has been known to pick Doom, which has been banned out. They have also picked Pugna this tournament. Are we going to see pocket strat like that? They didn't win with that, but they were very close to winning with it earlier on against LGD, I believe.
It's kind of cute. I think it pigeonholes your strategy a little bit too much, but...
And it's not bad versus Sven, and I think the kind of lineups that Chen usually facilitates. I guess Pugna could be good against because of the ward. Thinking like the stationary nature of Chen team fight and pushes, Pugna can help to offset that. But I don't know. It's definitely not something that you're gonna pick now.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe
they
it's
last
pick.
picked it last time they used it
Yeah.
this tournament.
Yeah.
So, Ohio indeed not playing Nature's Prophet, a Tidehunter, Darkseer, all removed. Which hero would you like to see him on?
Well, he
This
had that
game.
amazing Phoenix game this tournament. He had a slightly
He did.
less amazing one today.
Indeed, he did as well.
Reserve time.
I like Beastmaster.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
BM is good against Sven too. You need some sort of lockdown that goes through BKB. I think Phoenix only worked because he was in a one-on-one matchup, right?
Oh, but he's got this fan on his team.
But I still think Beastmaster works out with Fnatic's lineup.
If Newbee decided to just run safe try, I feel like it's hard to run Phoenix. You get zoned out too hard, and you can't jungle. Like the game that he played, he was Phoenix against. I can't remember. Was it some kind of offlaner?
The one way he owned was actually 1v1, yeah.
Yeah, that's the scenarios that I think Phoenix works out in, where you can give him an advantageous matchup.
You have to have him either matched up against a weak dual lane or some sort of solo position.
Fnatic is gonna run at you. They have Chen Disruptor Sven.
Yeah.
How are you gonna stop them running at you?
I mean, what's really interesting here to me is that I'm pretty sure this is the support pairing they had when they went against EG's Nature's Prophet. And I remember watching the panel when Winter said that Disruptor and Chen are not the right supports to have to deal with offlane Nature's Prophet, and the Prophet ended up bullying the Disruptor, and the Disruptor couldn't handle it. So I don't know if that necessarily needs to happen, but I think that did happen to Fnatic in this tournament.
That was. Wait, I know Farav played it against a Disruptor.
Yeah.
Oh, was it against MVP? No, but Fnatic wouldn't have played MVP, right?
Yeah, but it was MVP that had the Nature's Prophet. Captain was a game. It's
Okay,
it was
so,
LGD.
so it's LGD, not Fnatic?
Yeah, it was LGD.
But it's the same combination of heroes, right? So do you, like, what are they gonna do to deal with the Nature's Prophet if that's the case, that Disruptor struggles to control him?
I think it was a little different though, because they had a Morph as the safe lane carry, and I think Morph isn't doesn't have as much presence. Just because Sven can actually stun, he can follow up. Cleave does really well against the treants at some point. Or like Morph lane can't really clear it very easily.
Yeah, I think that's the big difference here is that because the Sven is actually pretty damn decent versus Nature's Prophet one-on-one, it may not necessarily be about shutting out the Nature's Prophet and preventing him from getting level 2 or level 3. I think it's going to be more likely that Disruptor may actually do perhaps like a little bit of pulling, just to facilitate levels for himself, and then look for the potential kills on Nature's Prophet with level 2 glimpse early on. And if they can get those kills, they can actually start rotating the Disruptor with the Chen. He's not a good rotating hero, but Sven is able to farm against it. The Broodmother was a smart pickup, though. I like this from Fnatic.
Yeah, that's a decent Ohio hero. And Newbee needed to pick their Mu hero, and I don't feel like that's something they'd usually do, pick a Mu hero to solo against a Brood, but...
Oh god, every Brood counter, they self-ban.
Yeah, dude, I was just about to say, like, Emperor Spirit is the only hero that's left, I think. That...
Alright, last pick Axe, because you don't want to get one-offed by a Brood.
Yeah.
I've seen Chinese teams solo Quap first Brood before, kind of successfully. I don't know if that's the pick here. I mean,
Sand
already
King comes to mind.
Oh yeah, Sand King's kind of cool.
Vishelbach it is.
Bristlebach.
I think Bristle's okay, but now you have no space creators. This is so. That's the thing that Brood does to you. It's because they were gonna leave this last hero, probably pick something like a Puck, then have a lot of team fight. Then you have Puck plus Spectre. They can't run away.
Talking about pigeonholing yourself.
Yeah, then it's like, okay, well they Broodmothered us and we banned two best anti-Brood heroes.
Okay, what kind of completes Fnatic's lineup in this one?
10 seconds remaining.
A mid that doesn't lose.
What's the mid one here?
Yeah, you
We're
wanna...
looking for mid one, yes. Templar Assassin has been a hero that he has been playing,
Oh, TA would be pretty sick.
and it will be the Puck
I was
instead.
gonna say Puck.
Yeah.
Puck works really well with Sven.
I'm excited to see mid one Puck because the thing that stands out a lot to me is these really small plays. He's really good with like fairy fires and magic wands and baiting people in with aggression, then turning things around. So Puck can really facilitate that.
Fnatic.
Yeah.
You
Fnatic.
think Fnatic?
I changed my
Fnatic.
mind. Yeah.
It's
Brood Mama.
it's Brood.
You got Brood.
Is this gonna be the Brood game?
Mother comes, Newbee.
Well, Newbee, You know, they gotta put up a hell of a fight here in order to take down the Brood. Come on, Shimmer of Light, what needs to happen for them to beat Brood? Any moment in time where they need to be ahead.
How?
Really good support play.
Really good support play.
You need dust, you need counters. You actually need both in order to beat a Brood Mother. in this
Rich
sort of scenario.
supports.
They have to fight 4v5.
they have to commit both supports to shutting down a Brood Mother, and they have to have counters, and they have to have.
They gotta get
dust.
Spectre farm somehow.
Yeah, if Hao gets big and they can play 4v5 with Nature's Prophet, these two supports and Spec, it's actually doable. It's
Yeah.
just, you can't underestimate what Brood does.
You just have to start out
Well,
really well with those supports.
can Newbee do it? Can they make sure that they are still gonna be alive at the end of today and still have that Chinese team in the top 8? We're gonna find out with OD Pixel and Draskell as Newbee will take on Team Fnatic.
Indeed, thank you very much. And here we are, Andy, the final best of one of the day. Newbee going up against Fnatic. It's China's last hope here. The crowd, obviously, as we heard them in the draft, they're right behind Newbee. They were very happy with the Spectre pick, and there was also quite an applause there for the Bristleback that finished off the draft. And as the panel were discussing, is Bristleback the hero here to help deal with heroes like Fnatic's Brood?
I mean, I think this is something that just allows you to dictate tempo a little bit more. Like having that hero, Bristle, he can fight pretty much at any level. You know, he's not ultimate reliant. He can help create space in the sense that he doesn't need to wait for anything in particular. Just getting some levels out of his lane can be enough. We are seeing a little bit of aggressive movement here coming out of Newbee. Not sure if they're going to catch anything.
Onto DJ, and you see him going in with a level 1 nasal goo. The kinetic field will hold back Tule here on the Nature's Prophet. Looks like to be enough. Look at a very nice ward down here towards the mid lane, the side of Newbee. And they did also manage to get that one up by the Radiant Ancient. So they're going to have some good vision here. And it looks like they're going to kick it off here for a fight at the top. Rune bounces there between mid 1 and DJ. They'll look for it, but they will find it here. Mushi could be in a bit of trouble now. 3 stacks of nasal goo here. Mushi's going to go down. I think the crowd's happy about that one. And Moo giving him a right proper bashing.
Well, he did get the rune, so even though Newbee secured the first blood, he does get the 100 experience, and obviously the gold from the rune on top of that. But he had to skill level 1 Warcry to make sure that his Chen got away. That was really the biggest issue that they ran into there. So now you get a kinetic field on net, which is definitely not the thing that you want to be able to zone against a Nature's Prophet, and Winter was talking about this the other day as well. This support in particular, Disruptor can't do anything against Furion in lane, and we are seeing a 2-2-1, or yeah, a 2-2-1 in regards to not wanting to commit both of the supports to stopping the Brood, because in reality, Venge and Witch Doctor aren't really the answer. So they're just going to put Moo in the top lane with the Venge nearby, because that hero is much harder to kill in a 1 versus 1 setting, and then obviously Puck versus Spectre. It's one of those lanes where Spectre is going to be able to farm just fine, has full tangos, has poor man's shield, and of course the backup of Chuan on that Witch Doctor.
Oh, right, you said with the lanes in this kind of situation, you think how he's going to have an alright time farming here up against the Puck with the backup of Chuan?
It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's going to be better than laning against a Brood. Because what happens is, a Brood eventually gets to like level 3, 4, 5, your supports start getting dove, you don't have really good way of clearing the wave, and you're just going to get pressured non-stop. So I think this is a better early game solution. Although we say that, and Hao is getting wrecked right now.
Oh man, hey, this man needs to be careful, mid one coming forward. Chuan is there to force him back, and in fact, the Satire Tormentor just allowing the bounces of the caster.
That thing is actually the MVP. Like, that Satyr cast like, what, 4 shockwaves before it died, just completely decimated Hao's health.
It's not nice here for the man on the Spectre. 5 CS at this point, mid 1 7 for 3. He is having the favourable time in lane, thanks, as you said, to this Enchantress's the Chen's micro.
Yeah, but Chuan's got Voodoo Restoration now, they're level 2. I mean, you're going to have to continually get creeps like that and keep pressuring. And keep in mind, when you do this, you can't gank another lane. So that means that Jatule bottom is going to be able to continue to get some experience, get some farm. There's no Chen pressure on that lane. And that means that you're going to have a Furion to deal with at some point.
How? He is certainly going to need some help coming from somewhere, that's for sure. Bristleback's farm 11 for 1, Brood 9 for 1, fairly even on the top. Well, this puck could cause issues here for the side of Newbee as he continues to get the space that he is on it. Ohio. So working towards obviously just having that soaring on line for the spam, and you can see bottom lane Mushi trying to make sure he can get some of this, this jungle creep camp as Furion does contest it, and Mushi back to the lane. He's getting on to level 4, farm for Mushi going fine. Tule not really doing anything in terms of slowing down Mushi's farm at the moment.
Well, it's pretty tough. I mean, The Disruptor is not really a big issue for him. He can just walk in and right-click, send trees at him, and Disruptor doesn't really have a counterplay to that. So I don't think that he's going to be able to stop Mushi's farm, but at the same time, Mushi's not going to be able to stop the Furian's farm either.
Indeed, it's going to be pretty much even stuff here. It's pretty much just the mid lane where we're seeing the most action. Each time mid one was going in there,
He is
spamming
doing
out the orbs.
so well. 15-4 versus 8-1.
I mean, grand old time.
I did say that the Satyr was MVP of the lane, but still, this guy is a monster. Like, he is CSing incredibly well.
There's a lot of people have been saying mid one of the kind of the talents that people should look out for, and then some of the performances from Fnatic, we've certainly seen why, and not really seen a lot of the putt from this man, and here this game we could, well, we're beginning to see what could be the start of quite a spectacle if the first kind of 3 minutes of laning is anything to go by here on his performance.
Yeah, and it's good for Fnatic too, because their kind of lineup needs to control the tempo. So, I mean, you don't pick heroes like Broodmother and Puck, for example, to lose the laning phase.
Smart stuff there. Just gets the silence out, no magic missile possible from Lei, and he's out. Well, get the top rune, and in fact, he's trying it with a haste. Looks like he doesn't want to try and go for DJ. He's not close enough for the magic missile.
He's stuck because of the troll. That's pretty funny. I think if they had noticed that, they might have even used Nature's Prophet at TP in. With phase, it might have even been a kill. So, still, pretty early on here. Newbee definitely not getting the better of the laning phase. I mean, look at how much farm everyone in Fnatic has. Like, Mushi, totally free farming right now, tied for highest CS. Brood's doing well. The Puck is doing well against a dual lane. And this is definitely the start of Fnatic we're looking for.
No, I guess the nice thing here with how Spectre is, as long as he is getting levels, which he is now that he's had the lane left to himself, once he hits that 6 online and you've got these heroes like the Venge of the Witch Doctor looking for pickoffs across the map, as long as he can start to get himself involved in the action, he can recover as this Spectre.
Yeah, that's the one benefit of playing the hero is you can often sit, you know, in the jungle, farm a free lane. You know, you don't have to follow your team around to make sure that you're contributing to the fights. It's more just whenever you're needed, your team is going to call for your haunt, and you're going to go in and you're going to take the fight after that point. So that is one of the biggest benefits of playing Spectre. And obviously her late game is ridiculously good, especially against a team like Fnatic where Brood kind of teeters off. You're not really a hard carry style of hero. You're more just, I want to apply pressure in the lane. I want to force the enemy team to react in a big way to my pressure, and that way I make room for the other heroes on my team to cure their farms. So I'm still thinking that Fnatic, this is the laning phase that they were looking for, without a doubt. They just need to keep it up.
Yeah, there's no denying that How is suffering here in the mid. Top lane. Ohio, halfway through 28 CS, he's right up there, he's level with the same as the Puck, and just out of it there, so Ellie couldn't connect with the magic missile.
Yeah, no vision. Very unfortunate. Chuan in enemy territory over here.
Looks like DJ can't quite get the Dark Troll summoning space for the net, but it doesn't matter because mid one, he's there with the Dream Coil, and now with the Waning Rift onto two. Howard Chuan, caught in position, net's there as well, dropped down the kinetic field, they'll trap up Chuan. Witch Doctor fall, and now the glimpse, bringing Hal back, and missed the 3 of Fnatic. Mid one, he drops himself out, keeping himself alive. They won't be able to get themselves another kill there, but Fnatic, they do get themselves something on the board as they take down Chuan.
Very nice reaction, just making sure that you're in the area to throw out the coil. Would have been nice if they could have killed the Spectre, but he's a little bit tanky. He's got the double gauntlet build, so 800 health, and obviously has that value point into Dispersion, so pretty hard to take down. And speaking of tankiness, Mu now finishing up his Vanguard. This item pretty much makes him invincible against Fnatic's lineup, at least for the early game.
Yes, especially lane against Ohio. He can just continue to hit creeps and certainly not worry that much about the Brood ever getting to a point where Ohio's going to be in a position to solo take down the Bristle. But at the same time, Ohio, he's still going to have the space to farm.
There's no way that you're going to be able to kill Ohio without 3 heroes.
No.
Like, you need a stun, you need a Fury and TP, and you need Dust with the Bristle. That's how you kill him.
I think the same applies for Mill on the Bristle. They are going to need rotations. So the main roll in the mid lane, mid one, starting to fight it off. The dagger coming through. He's going to get himself out of this one, and he will. How? He won't be able to dive that far, and hasn't quite got the level 6. Maybe with the Haunt could have gone for a little bit of a play. Could have been a risky one though. And no one will go down there. At the same time, Mushi just continues to get endless space on the bottom lane. 59 CS, 7.5 minutes in, and a tier 1 as well.
I feel like these teleports from Zhaozu are a little bit strange. Like, why are you committing to a Puck kill? You could very easily just buy some dust yourself or have the Venge smoke up and rotate towards top. Killing Ohio is not impossible. All it requires is you just dusting, getting 1 quill on him. It stops his free pathing so he can't hide, and then you can just TP on him.
Eyes on the mid lane. DJ smoked up with the Centaur, Mushi behind the tower. And Tron, they still look to secure themselves the 8-minute rune. It's just going to be the bounty. They've got the Dream Coil back online here for mid one if they do want to try and jump and DJ's position. They really want to try and make something happen here on the mid. But how he has got the Haunt. So unless they can burst him down kind of through the waning rift duration, it's going to be a hard one. And looks like they'll lay off the mid lane for the time being, Fnatic.
A little bit of a failed smoke there, but NewBee pretty much did the same thing. They said 2 support spot him a little while ago with the smoke and didn't find much. And mid one is just like, I'm just gonna punch you, man. I don't care if you're a high ground or not. Mischance, be darned, I'm just going in.
Again, Hal just coming in, trading hits with mid one, but on this puck, more than happy to do so. It's 1-1 at the moment, 9 minutes in, and can't help but feel that overall, the laning stage just slightly favouring Fnatic.
It's still very static though, like the only real attention that we're seeing in movement is towards mid. Just seems like both teams either want to get that tower down or they want to pressure one of the cores of the opposition at this point. And How actually carrying his own dust at this point, that's another thing that I didn't mention, but Spectre is amazing against Brood because you can just go to the Brood instantly, unlike most other heroes who have to actually scout him out. The way the Haunt works is you just drop it on the hero and it chases him down, so that's pretty much a free dust, and Dagger goes through pretty much everything, so you can stop him from running away and just go for the kill. So I wouldn't be surprised after having seen that dust for Ohio to play a little bit more passive here. You can see he's just been cutting the wave, and I think that Newbee need to start trying to deal with him because the Bristle can't move from the lane if the Brood's here. That's the other problem. Your safe lane tower pretty much dies if for whatever reason Moo leaves the lane and Ohio isn't pressured.
Absolutely, and well, there's going to be a Haunt coming out, and in fact jumping straight onto Ohio, and this is what you were talking about. Coming in with the dust, too late there as well. It's going to be a nice thing to get it. Howe's got to be careful, but they will find it. They'll get themselves the kill, and that's the involvement we're talking about, having this House Spectre just getting himself in on the action and in on the high priority kills.
Yeah, it's a really nice rotation. They should be able to save mid too. It's going to take a little bit of damage. They did end up forcing out a glyph, but at the end of the day, I don't think this tower is going to be going down. Moo's just making the rotation over there. I think at this point, after having killed the Brood once, they'll probably just let Hal farm the easier lane. So I guess since he has a bottle, he's probably just going to be staying mid. And then they can just keep doing that. You know, every time Han is off cooldown, they can just kill Ohio for free. The Spectre and the Nature's Prophet together are probably enough to go for the kill just by themselves. Although Ohio is carrying a Quelling Blade, probably realizing full well that Japtule wants to try to target him. And if they can keep the Brood down, it kind of becomes really difficult for Fnatic to really apply any pressure unless mid one and Mushi just go completely out of control.
Mid one in terms of the Rose to Blink, 1300 gold here. Out. Maybe with a misclick there. Actually, just
he meant to earn himself for sure, and then he just accidentally does.
Ooh, some dust. I mean, you never know. I reckon he might have wandered in from another server.
He needs to buy another one though, or have a support buy one for him. He can't just not have dust. He's the literal best counter to Brood on the team in terms of hunting him down.
Mid lane, a lot of pressure being looked to head on to Hal. He's got to be careful, 20 seconds before he has that Haunt back available. Net and Mushi actually looking for action in the jungle. They're going to find too late. He's in a lot of trouble here. God Strength being popped by Mushi. They'll move straight in with a Brood, Mother Spiderling surrounding him as well. Easy one there for the Sven. And they'll get themselves a tier 1 in the middle lane as well. So Fnatic getting themselves a kill and an objective. Top lane, Ohio could be in trouble. Ellie and Moo moving in. Here's the slow. Hand of God coming through, and Ohio's going to find Net. Trapping up Ellie and Moo in the kinetic field, the Static Storm as well. And mid one's there with the rotation. They've found themselves the Venge. I don't think they can quite find themselves Moo here with that Vanguard. Just a little bit too tanky. Ohio's going to be careful. He's coming back in. Now with the Horn, he needs to get himself out of there. They'll lose the Chen as Hal was able to pick that one off there. So Newbee able to find a kill, keeping it even on the board 3 for 3, but Fnatic, they are still hanging around here on this top lane.
They are playing so risky right now. Ohio's got no health. They don't have coil. Mid one's at like 20% mana, 50% HP. Just being very, very ballsy, sticking in the area for so long, and I think the going on that would have been very difficult. If Hal had dust, maybe he would have tried to go all in to just take down the Brood. But still 3 of 3. Fnatic, they still have their early game advantage. Their laning phase went very well for them. Now,
I was talking about coming out of the laning phase. What do you think about the Brood Mother's option here? Going for the Vlads. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to build the Brood. We see like sometimes they go kind of a fighting Brood, like a split pushing Brood. This is very much a Brood that wants to stick with his team.
I think it's perfectly fine. Like, like you said, if he's going to be going 5-man and running into towers, then having the Vladzora against heroes like Bristleback, Venge, having the Wave of Terror, stuff like that, having it to offset the minus armor, giving your team that lifesteal too, also opens up the possibility of doing Roshan with your team. Like normally Brood just pops ulti and attacks Roshan and try to solo it, but it's very slow. So if you have other heroes around who benefit from that lifesteal aura like the Sven, you can just have the two of them sneak in there at one point and take it down.
Newbee looking for the plays here, 2 lane alley. They're going for the Rosh. And it looks like, at this rate, it's not the quickest of Roshans. But
No,
Fnatic,
but it's safe.
Yeah, I think they're not going to be in the neighborhood anytime soon. Now with the orb though, this could be trouble for Newbee.
Oh, they have to make a decision. Oh man, I don't know if the Bristle has enough mana to team fight. That's going to be a problem. He doesn't have any stick charges either.
Santor coming in, looking for a stun. Won't find it here, Moo. Just chasing back. Over minions.
This is pretty much a 4v5 because the Brood's top.
Just a little bit of a glimpse there. Elliot being brought back there by Net. Newbee are going to go back into the pit. They don't seem too phased by this. They really want to finish this one off. But as you said, it's going to be our Fnatic. I think mid-1 jump forward there. And now with the Dream Coil onto 3. The Magic Missile will hit onto mid-1. How? He is going to come in with a horn. They're looking for the puck kill. And he's going to find it here. Mid-1, he's going to go down. Big kill there for Newbee. And with the puck gone and out of the fight, they'll go straight back into the pit. They've got the sustain thanks to Chuan with the Voodoo Restoration. Still though, they don't really have the damage to bring this Roshan down like quickly. Mushi! Oh, they got straight coming in! But then the paralyzing card! And the death one! They're doing it! Chuan's doing it! He turns around and he takes down Mushi! Those bounces and that death ward from Chuan. Huge stuff there from the Witch Doctor. At the same time though, Newbee, they're feeling a lot of pressure on the top lane. Ohio comes in, takes down the tier 2. They've got a spider problem. Looks like they'll be able to try and finish off Roshan, and they will. They'll get it. Hal's going to get himself the Aegis. So it does take them a fair bit of time, but they get Roshan, they get the Aegis, and they also get that very, very high priority kill onto Mushi's Sven.
Oh my god, the cask and the sprout were so clutch there. One more hit is all he needed. And unfortunately, they're not going to find it. This is just Newbee exploiting the weakness of a Brood. You can't go into the Roshan pit as Fnatic's lineup against a team where the carry can always hunt into the fight 100% of the time. You don't actually have the damage on Fnatic to go through the Bristleback. Like say for instance they want to go for the supports right away, you have to walk through Moo in order to get to Chuan and Leia at this point. They just can't do it. The only person who has the reach is the Puck. I suppose the Sven does have a Blink Dagger as well, but if you put yourself in that position, you're not really getting any support. So I think at this stage, it's very difficult for Fnatic to find a real engagement, and since Roshan went the way of Newbee, they should have a decent amount of map control for at least the next couple of minutes.
5 for 3 at the moment, 16 minutes in. A very careful game from both sides. But I think at the moment, yeah, with this 5k lead, Fnatic are still the ones in the more comfortable seat. The fact that they have got this Sven, but Newbee are certainly giving them a fight, and again, it's going to be one of these best of ones that it's going to be very, very close. I mean, are there any kind of big item pickups that you feel either side's waiting for before they kind of fully commit for a 5-on-5?
Well, Hao is setting for Radiance,
Yeah,
so
he's on the Radiance track.
As soon as that team fight went his way and they got Roche, I think he just opted to stay for the Relic because he already had like over 2,000 gold. I think that's definitely a good call. So that's going to be a huge item for them, without a doubt. Not only just annoyance to stop blinks, but just the amount of damage you can do in a team fight. We are seeing Fnatic go for the smoke, fighting into an Aegis, but they could find a pick.
Oh, if they can find Tule here, and they will, jumping straight forward. Hao's coming through as well. They'll glimpse back Tule. Here's the high ground. Hao trying to make a beat up for Net, but in fact it's the Net from DJ holding him back. Net goes for the TP out, DJ as well, but it's going to get cancelled. Magic Missile coming from early on the bench. They'll chase down DJ, pops the mech. It won't be enough, and they will get themselves that kill. Mid-1 with the S4 rune, just running around the back lines of Newbee. He'll be fine, so it is just the Chen going down here on this one. The rest of Fnatic will be fine. But Newbee there, finding a kill off the back of what was Fnatic's attempt to look for an initiation. In fact, this could be the initiation. Mushi is going to jump in onto Hao here with the Godstroke, bringing down the Spectre. He has got the Aegis, he's ready for round 2. Is Mushi going to stick around? It certainly looks like he wants to. Tron's coming through as well, and now it could be Mushi that needs to maybe be a little bit careful. Tron's coming down, Mu as well. Looks like they can't quite close the gap though. Mushi a little bit too speedy with the war cry. Will be able to make sure that Newbee can't close the gap. But Newbee dealing very well with Fnatic's aggression there around their ancients.
I'm really happy that they didn't chase that. It's very easy to get tempted into a situation where you're like, oh, we could definitely get this kill. But, I mean, Brood's pushing top right now. There's always an opportunity for a Chen heal to come out, and DJ, I think, he died and then he TP'd somewhere, or maybe he tried it. No, he tried TP and then he died. So he probably couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't have TP'd bottom. I suppose maybe they could have gotten the kill on Mushi, but it's still them understanding the position that they're in. They say we don't need to end the game right now. We know that our late game is definitely better. Like, we have Furion, we have Spectre, we have a Bristleback who's getting an insane amount of farm. We don't need to pressure ourselves so much that we need to end the game in Ohio.
There we go, Strain. He's got an SNY, then Bristleback, back in a punch, net, trying for the
One more
TP.
hit.
How can he do it? No! He needed another one. Couldn't quite get it in time, but that is the Brood down, and Moo picking up a lot of bonus gold here thanks to these Broodlings. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Moo, the rich man, 1,400 gold, and he is starting to close that gap between himself and Mushi Sven.
Fnatic are starting to slowly lose their grip on this game. It's rolling to about the 20-minute mark, and by now, you kind of want to have the tier 2s at least a little bit damaged or almost dead. The only tier 2 that's down in favor of Fnatic and is in the top lane, obviously a good tower, but man, like losing the Roshan so early, Newbee exploiting the fact that Brood can't come to the fight, I really think that they are poised to take control of this game.
How now, just only a few hundred away from that full-on Radiance. The fights are certainly going to get a lot harder for Fnatic off the back of that pickup. It'll be reasonable timing as well, just post 20-minute mark we can expect at this rate. And Ohio at the same time, he will probably be picking up his BKB, so the Spider is going to be able to stick around in these fights. It's just a question really if the rest of the Fnatic are built and ready to deal with a Radiant Spectre at this point of the game.
They do have Chen heal and mech, so they have the damage offset for now. But as soon as the Radiance is built on the Spectre, you're kind of starting a timer. After the next 10 to 15 minutes, if you haven't dealt significant damage, here we go.
How he's in trouble, straining. Mushi goes how. He's going to try and dagger out, but Mushi
The damage, man.
slicing into the Spectre. And that, of course, is
That's
going to
a
put
huge kill.
the recipe on a bit of a back foot there for Hal. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer before getting that Radiance on.
Fnatic just realized they need to always be pressuring, and Mushi, understanding that more than anyone, very, very important kill. And they're looking for the Chen possibly bottom, but I think DJ is going to be A-okay. They need to be able to buy time for the next Roche. I think that's probably the strongest thing about Newbee's lineup, is knowing that Ohio, maybe once he buys BKB, he might actually come to a fight. I think if you pop BKB and you're just chasing the Venge or chasing the Witch Doctor around, like there's no Glimmer Capes or anything on the side of Newbee, so the supports don't have any save mechanism. The only person who has an escape is Zhao Tule. He bought the Force Staff, so whoever gets Sven stunned, he can pretty much just try to get out of harm's way or maybe force himself out of a kinetic field before it sets up, but it's still a very risky situation here for Newbee. They need more time.
Ohio goes into the sentry here. Let's see if the Venge can quite get in range there for a potential swap. I'm looking at Moo now on the Bristleback. He's got a few different ways to go here with his item build. He's saving up the money. Are we going to see AC? Are we going to see Basher coming out? What does he need this game?
The usual build that we used to see Chinese teams do is like the SNY Basher, and they would eventually buy BKB. I think with the position that they're in now... Oh, we bought a Blink!
Oh, Blink Bristleback!
Alright. I'll be honest, I didn't see that one coming, but I like it.
I don't think his team did either.
Well, the nice thing about Blink is that he knows that it's really hard for Fnatic to kill him. The only way he dies is if he gets focused by the Sven. Like, Mushi has to kill him. That's how he gets dropped in a team fight. So, if you want to just blink in, have your Spectre haunt, you are instantly on the back line. Like, you're going to have to get defensively disrupted, you're going to have to, or glimpsed rather, and you're going to have to get, like, Sven stunned, the Brood's going to have to focus you, you're going to have to get coiled. Like, he's going to basically force them to use spells on him, which they don't want to do, and that also allows Hao inside of the team fights to have more freedom to be able to do what he wants. So a very unconventional choice, but one that I think will suit his needs just fine.
Mushi is still working towards his AC on the Sven. Another man walking around with a lot of gold is this mid-one Puck. He has got 3.6k saved up here. I can only imagine he's just saving up to buy a couple of the big components of the Cypher Vice, do you reckon, on the Puck, or anything else that mid-one might get before that this game?
I mean, we've seen some Pucks buy Aghanims. I think it's okay.
That's true.
I mean, Aghanims is nice if you want to keep people on like...
Oh, Mushi! Oh! Oh no! Oh no, Mushi!
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
You know what? It happens. Misfire.
Oh dear.
We've seen a misfire in the last game as well.
Did we?
Yeah, the
He wasn't
Chronosphere.
playing in the last
No,
game.
no, no. I mean like the
Oh.
Chronosphere that was dropped by Phobos.
He's gonna. You can't get that wrong, really. Just cleaving down the Ancients, Mushi. That's pretty much going to be his AC done.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, even if he got the stun, do you think he would have had the damage still to take down the Spectre, or with the Radiant's miss chance? I don't know if Mushi can necessarily just go for the kill on his own, can he?
It would have been close.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't get any misses, maybe. He did it once when he was
Here comes the Blink Bristleback. DJ didn't expect that one. House there as well. Jumping straight onto the Chen. They'll find it. The swap back onto high. The death off for Tron. Look at the send back. Ohio, he's safe. He's safe and sound. And DJ, he may have been DEAD, but he saves Ohio. He won't save the tier 1 though. Newbee will get out. That's the little things. And Chen, he loves his spiders.
That was so close. That was so close. Fnatic got to be thanking their stars about that send back. But Roshan up again. Newbee. They seem to have very strong timing. Like they understand that they need to be pressuring around the time that it's going to be respawning. Wait, they're not checking it? They're not checking it. Do they not want to kill it? I think they could.
Oh, here we go. The little spider higher. Don't. Oh! His duty was over, so
Spider down.
he was offered up. Poor old Timmy.
Yeah. Well, Fnatic have everything up. Newbee looking to just dodge the fight, I suppose, until Haunt is back off cooldown and they have the Nature's Wrath. Just wanting to defend the tower instead.
Oh, Mushi's got a DD. Here we go. DD time on to move, but Lily there with the swap out. Mid one's on the high ground. He gets the Dream Coil out onto the Bristleback. Mid one now jumping forward, looking for the Venge. The Venge getting brought up high from Moo. Take it down. This DD on Mushi with the gold strip doing absolute work against Newbee. And Mushi, he's sitting down. My God, to how? Where's your Radiant's mischance now, son? Mid one, he's moving in for more, and this double damage rune. Absolute disaster there for Newbee. The cleave nearly bringing down the Venge
Has fallen.
as the boys have to head back to base. And my goodness, this DD room for Mushi. This could be the swing that Fnatic need to really bring themselves back out on top.
Oh man, they wasted their buyback too. This is really bad for Newbee. That double damage rune, pretty game-winning stuff coming in here from Fnatic. So they did the bottle swap thing, just made sure they had it on Mushi, the obvious best carrier for it. And I think Moo wanted to buy back because he knows he needs to try to go for Roshan, but it's going to be dead before the Spectre's alive.
There's no way he can contest this.
Man, is he going to go for the Blink Steal?
No, don't do it, Moo.
There's no way.
Don't do it, Moo.
Oh, there's no coil?
Oh, Moo, he's in trouble here. The Static's on the kinetic field will trap him. Mushi is going to stop any backup coming through. Zedvenge, you want to swap this? He's gone. Moo now in trouble as well. There's going to be a dieback on the Bristleback. He gets glimpsed back in. Fnatic, they drop down the Dream Coil. They catch him out. Mid one keeps himself alive. Backs out. Now how? They're just throwing heroes at Fnatic. And oh no, it's going to be a third one down. They will lose the Disruptor. But Fnatic taking this fight with Storm. Tron says, the death ward worked before. Isn't going to work this time. 4 dead. Mushi moving in now onto Tule. He wants to clean up the side of Newbee, and he's going to be able to do it. One more if he can get himself in. The spider attacks. Bam! Newbee are all dead, and Fnatic off the back of that fight just cleaning them up. And suddenly it feels like the crowd is empty because they're not happy with that one here, the home fans.
We can definitely tell that there are Newbee fans in the audience, without a doubt. And it was just a really, really good rune into a strong team fight into Roshan, and Fnatic just going down middle lane, absolutely decimating the mid-set of racks. They probably get 2 here, to be honest. Mushi just does a ridiculous amount of damage at this point, hitting for well over 500 with the AC. That's double racks for sure. They get both the melee. They did leave the range racks alive in mid, but not really the big deal. They get the thing that they came for. They walk away from Newbee's base with the Aegis intact. Daedalus going to be done soon on Mushi as well. At this game, it's a lineup where Newbee, I think, would have been heavily favored going into the late game, but it's only like 27 minutes in, and that was only Roshan number 2. If Newbee had been able to secure that, I think they would have been in a very good position to take this game, but Mushi's Sven. Like, you gotta give this guy and mid one of those two gets MVP
I
for
mean,
sure.
we've seen 2 amazing Sven performances in the amount of 2 BO1s. Miracle and the one beforehand. And again here.
Yeah.
Mushi just bringing the Sven A game. And Ultron. He sees. Oh, hello. This one playing around with him. Tron. Again, the Death Ward just getting cancelled straight away by the Yules. And he will swap in move, but he's going to get brought back on the bench. Ohio turns around, chomps on him. They've taken down Tron at the top. They want to try and find mid one on the puck. They're not going to get it. He blinks himself down south. And with this orb, can he get himself out? It looks like he can. He's got the Yules to hold back Moon. Moon trapped up in the party ring. Newbee just being played with at this point, and they just can't. They can't catch out Fnatic.
Yeah, mid one's kind of just having himself a grand old time right now. Phase shifts, orbs, blink daggers, Yules.
Oh, Mushi, look at him revving up with the God Strafe. Oh! Oh, God. And the silence has hit the stadium pretty hard.
You know, I'm seeing a constant theme today. It seems as if every single team who wants to run like the early game tempo controlling, like team fight lineup, just ends up getting one really big fight.
Let's see if the Blink can do it. He jumps into the middle of them here. Look at the magic missile onto Mushi. He's trying to do the best, but Mushi just turns around. He'll slice away at the bristleback. He heads just back for the racks here. Mushi is falling low, but he's of course got this Aegis. He clears out the racks. They will be able to pop him once. Can they kill him again? The Dream Coil onto no one there, and Newbee. Maybe they could try and clear this one off, but Ohio there eats away at the bench. Mushi still on the base. He's playing around with Juan. You've got Ohio chasing down How desperately trying to find a kill onto one of the weaker heroes on the side of Fnatic. Might just get DJ. No! Oh, can he get it? The Glimmer can't keep it. DJ alive. DJ's still living through this one. How? He can't even kill the Chen here. He's being baited around by Net. Ohio clears up the bristleback. And mid-one jumps in onto How. Net and DJ end up living. And GG, well played is called. This is the Shanghai Major. Disclaimer, Chinese teams not included.
Yep.
18-9, Newbee get knocked out. Fnatic, they just turned up. They did just turn up.
Well, I think everyone on the panel kind of said the same thing. It's just Fnatic's team, they had the way of controlling the tempo. They had the way of ending the game at an early stage. It was less than a 30-minute game, and Mushi, Sven, mid-one puck. I said very early on, these two guys got to go wild, and they certainly did.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and again, just another wild performance of the Sven. And there we have it. Newbee unfortunately knocked out here in this lower bracket. It's been absolutely brutal for some of the home teams, but hopefully they can take something away from this major, and we'll see the Chinese sides hit back hard in Manila, Andy.